A brothel full of demon women, billionaires living out their fantasies of intercourses and fighting demons. Minority teenagers left to fend for themselves. A civil war raging in the streets for survival. That's what the real Los Angeles is all about. Angel, the vampire investigator, cursed with a soul, is brought in on a case by a wealthy LA tycoon. He is being blackmailed by someone in the slums and asks him to solve the case. But in there he discovers an army he never expected. The secret war and suffering of people we don't watch. Hello and welcome to Films and Series Recap. Today, we're going to look at an episode of Angel called War Zone. I hope you enjoy it. The episode begins on the dark streets of Los Angeles. A young girl walks alone into the night. Behind her, a group of men follow. She quickens her pace. But when she turns around, they all already surround her. But these are no ordinary assailants. They are vampires. Their faces distorted by the demon inside them, as they lick their lips at their prey. The lights of a car blind them. A gang of youngsters arrive, armed with stakes. They are demon hunters, led by a man called Gun. In the shadows of Los Angeles, vampires and demons are rampaging through the inner cities. To ward off the threat, young people have organized themselves into a militia to protect their own. Miles away, at a society party in the upper classes, we meet up with our protagonists, Angel and his associates, Cordelia and Wesley. Angel is a vampire, but unlike the others, he has a soul given to him by gypsies to punish him for his past crimes. He wants to use the rest of his life to atone for his sins. He is opened a detective agency specializing in the supernatural in Los Angeles and has teamed up with Wesley, a former observer and veritable encyclopedia of the occult world, and Cordelia, who handles the public relations side of things. Today's business brings them face to face with tech billionaire David Nabid. David contacted them because he was being blackmailed. David is a real geek and a fan of Dungeons and Dragons. He's always wanted to fulfill one of his fantasies, but now he's being blackmailed with compromising photos of himself in intercourses with demon women and elves. Well, to each his own kink. He hires Angel and his team to investigate and find a blackmailer as well as destroy the photos. As for Gun, his army has managed to defeat some of the vampires, but not without loss. In this latest battle, he loses one of his closest friends. Despite their young age and lack of military strategy and weaponry, they are extraordinarily organized despite the lack of resources, having to fight on two fronts, poverty and demons. Gun leads the organization, supported by his young sister, Alona. She is furious with him, suspecting that he willingly puts himself in danger for the sake of battle. The ambush on the vampires was unnecessary, and because of that, one of their friends lost his life. Gun is now his only family, and she begs him to be more careful. Angel, meanwhile, heads for the private club. It's an extremely select brothel where the wealthy, if they pay the price, can have relations with beings from another race or even another dimension. By questioning the masseuse who took care of David, a feline demon, he obtains the blackmailer's whereabouts. That same evening, Angel found a blackmailer in the slums of the city and shook him up. He threatens him in his vampire form and orders him to bring back the evidence he has on David. Scarred, he promises to bring it the next day with. In the shadows, witnessing the scene, Gun is on the lookout and also plans to attend the meeting to destroy this new vampire. The next day, the blackmailer is there with the photos. But not alone. He's brought a demon to take care of Angel. Angel fights it, using all the resources his hundreds of years of life have given him, and defeats the Hellspawn. The blackmailer flees in fear, leaving David's photographs behind. As Angel catches his breath, he is harpooned in the back. It's Gun and his army. Angel tries to flee and has to fight Gun's men. He is shocked to discover that his attackers are little more than teenagers. During the battle, Angel saves Gun's sister, Alona. The teenager realizes that Angel is no ordinary vampire. Angel advises them not to continue putting their lives in danger. The young man refuses to listen and lets Angel, who has saved his sister, go. Back at his offices with his team, Angel wants to stop Gun's group from continuing their war. As much as he admires them, most of them are just teenagers, and all of them risk getting killed one day. He sends Cordelia and Wesley to find their camp, while he goes to deal with the vampire nest on his own. Meanwhile, the vampire gang attacked earlier by Gun is annoyed by the group's presence and decides to take action to get rid of their enemies once and for all. This time, they go on the attack. In Gun's base, Alona wants to take Angel's advice and settle down. Too many of their own have fallen, but he refuses to stop, much to Alona's sadness. Angel discovers the vampire's nest, which is empty despite being in broad daylight. He captures and questions one of the vampires on guard, who reveals the vampire's plan. Smoke bombs are thrown at the young people's base, thinking it was an attack. Gun asked everyone to get out, thinking they will be protected by the sun. He soon discovers that it was a diversion. As everyone leaves the base, a van appears and kidnaps Alona. Gun pursues the vehicle on foot. Inside are vampires, and there's nothing he can do. He watches helplessly as his sister is devoured by the gang. Later, Gun prepares his troops for a final attack on the nest. Angel appears and warns them that this is what the vampires are after. He tries to talk sense into Gun, but still furious at losing Alona, refuses to listen and locks Angel into base. The group of youngsters arrive at the warehouse where the nest is located, but Gun decides to go in alone first. Inside, no one, and from the back of the warehouse, a voice sings. Alona then appears, smelling. Gun understands. Alona is dead and has been transformed into a vampire. She attacks him, but he refuses to hit her. Angel, for his part, struggles to escape. Only the arrival of Cordelia and Wesley allows him to free himself. They remind him that he has a mobile phone for just such occasions. Angel, almost 300 years old, is not the most comfortable with technology. He hurries off to join the group. Gun, for his part, is paralyzed by Alona, who reminds him of the mistakes he has made and how his desire for constant battle, despite the warnings, has led him to this point. Gun is petrified with remorse. She offers to bite him to keep their family together. Gun, in tears, seems to let her do it, but ends up freeing her with a stake through the heart before Angel's compassionate eyes. The rest of the vampires then enter the scene ready to do battle. Angel orders everyone to leave, the vampires to leave the area, and the youngsters to retreat. The vampire leader provokes Angel. He then executes him in one fell swoop. This convinces the rest of the vampires to leave. Gun and his men also agree to retreat. Later, on the rooftop, Gun meditates in front of the lights of Los Angeles. He is joined by Angel. Gun warns him that he will never stop. Angel understands and reminds him that it wasn't him who killed his sister. Only the vampires were responsible. Without a word, the two warriors part, both knowing that they have found in each other a reliable ally in this never-ending battle. The end. I loved making this video. Let me know what you thought, or recommend new films to explore. I read all the comments. Subscribe, and see you soon on Films and Series Recap. Bye for now.